got Lando II in the building. This is the Bars on Deck podcast. We are at episode 26. Good to have you here with me, my brother. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into some music shit, some rap shit. We're going to talk about it. But for one, let the people know who you are. Let them, know where you coming from, what part of the world. And, just introduce yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what's up, people? I'm Lando2nd. Right now, I reside originally, I was born in Massachusetts, allegiance to the East Coast. I was born in Massachusetts. I spent my childhood in Connecticut, in New London, Connecticut.
Oh, word?
About 12 years old, yeah. I moved down I have family from the city, too. I had an aunt that used to live out in the Bronx. Yeah, so, we spent some weekends over there, stuff like that when I was younger. I lived down in Georgia, so I spent about 10, 11 years in the South, and now I'm in the Midwest. I'm in Top City, Topeka, Kansas, 785.
Yeah. So you down there with the we so underrated boys, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So tell me, being that you're a journeyman, you've been around the block, you've been all over. How did you link up with the We So Underrated clique, and how has the journey been so far?
So we met at a show that one of the local promoters, Dusali, was throwing.
Okay.
And we met after one of the shows. I performed, and he told me that he was feeling the music. We chopped it up for a little bit, and little by little, we've just been forming more of a relationship with each other. I've had a chance to stand on stage with them.
That's a blessing.
Not necessarily right, because they're doing big things, and I appreciate the love. We got some things in the works, some tracks that they're wanting to put me on. Waiting to get the ball rolling on the recordings and stuff like that. Lyrics are ready to go.
I already know, man. I already know. You guys are focused down there, so I already know y'all ready to work.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So Duso is the captain. Then we got Q Mogul. Now we got you. Who else is on this roster, man? It seems like this roster is endless because Q Mogul just sent me like 3 more dudes to interview.
So what I see as far as like a roster goes, like I said, I haven't said yet, but they definitely got some. They got like a Wu type of thing where they got bodies. They got bodies.
Yes, they do.
I'm just meeting a lot of these people. I guess I didn't mention the names earlier, but like you mentioned, Duso and Q. Q is the one that I've had most of the interaction with.
Okay.
And another cat on is Isaiah Zeta King.
I think he sent me him. Yeah, I think he sent me his profile.
Yeah, he's cool. We've done the track together so far. And some of the I can't think of the other guys by names. I haven't really had too many run-ins. Really, it's been Q and Duso and Zeta King that I've had the most interaction with at this point. But I'm sure there's going to be a time where we're going to have the opportunity to sit down, get to know each other a little better, and get to a first name basis with everybody.
Okay. So before we get into your personal stuff, has there been any records, and who has there been any records with from We So Underrated? And talk to me about that experience.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Has there been any records, like have you done anything with Q or Duso, or have they just been featuring your own music?
No, I haven't featured my music yet. It's more so he gave me a track that I'll be performing with, if I'm not mistaken, Zeta King and Duso. I don't know that Zay has laid his verse yet, but Duso has laid his verse. And also there'll be like 2 tracks with Q, if I'm not mistaken, as well. And so far, that's like as far as we've got. So I haven't really had anything that I'm like the front runner for yet. It's more tracks that they have that they're including me in.
I got you. So do you guys like work in the studio together, or you just submit your verses later and they just put it all together?
Well, up to this point, I've had a chance to sit down with Q for some concepts that he's had for some of the tracks.
Okay.
He's broke it down, the direction of the song, and
Okay.
he kind of lets me run wild, but with whatever I want to write, but try to you want to stay on topic, of course.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
he's given me he let me listen to him. He sent me the tracks, and from there, I'm just I just listen and write. Listen and write. That's it. So I'm sure there'll come a point where we'll all be able to get together in the studio and play around a little bit. But so far, I've just received the music itself.
Okay. I asked that because old school style of recording, guys usually come to the studio together and y'all feed off each other's energy. I wanted to know if that was the vibe, or if you already had your own vibe and you just said, all right, I got a verse for that and let me go lay it down. You know what I'm saying? Because I like the camaraderie in the studio. I like when I hear your verse and it makes me go a little bit harder as opposed to me hearing the outcome of it already. You know what I mean? So I wanted to know if it was that vibe.
Right. Well, so myself, I'm starting to reach a point where I'm trying to branch out.
Okay.
With one of the reasons why, I'm trying to be a little bit more collaborative with We So Underrated and things like this. I've always been like a writer for myself. You know what I mean? Just not really collaborating with anyone.
Okay.
And like with this track, I've collaborated with some different artists as well here recently, and I understand what you mean when you say get together. Somebody writes a verse and you guys are together. I've had the opportunity here recently a few times to do something like that, and I'm really enjoying like the camaraderie. I'm enjoying that energy, that creative element comes to several minds coming together rather than just over here, this guy over here.
Right.
So yeah, I'm new to that aspect. I'm newer to that aspect.
Okay.
But yeah, like for the track that if I'm not mistaken, Zeta King and the one that Duso is on, like with those tracks, we didn't get a chance. Like Duso had already laid his verse, and I had the opportunity to hear it. And you gotta come correct because that dude's a monster. But excuse me.
No, you good.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to hear his, and it definitely made me come correct.
Okay. See, that's what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, so like, I had the opportunity to sit with Zay for the track that him and I are working on together, and it was cool. I get what you mean. We had a chance to sit there, bounce back ideas, and like conceptually for the track that him and I are working on, I think it's really different. I think it has a great sound. It has like an old school, more like boom bap beginning.
Okay.
With a drill type of feel to it as well.
Okay.
It might sound odd, but once you get a chance to listen to it and it all sits together, I think it's really tight. But yeah, I'm enjoying that, like being able to sit down and collaborate with people.
Right.
It's a good feeling. Yeah.
That's a dope vibe, man. I mean, I miss that. I hope dudes can get back into that. You know what I'm saying? Because you become more of a better artist and a better rapper, and then y'all evolve together, and then y'all build that solid relationship, So I like shit like that when I hear guys saying, yeah, I was in the studio like 2 days straight with these dudes, and then you hear the outcome and you like, oh yeah, y'all got something, y'all got chemistry and all of that. So I just wanted to know if that's where your head was at when it came to recording, or if, you more comfortable being, in your own zone. But I guess it's a little bit of both, you know what I'm saying?
I definitely feel more comfortable on my own, whether I'm like, whether I'm riding in the truck by myself, listening to something and writing, or if I'm at my crib, I definitely feel more comfortable because I'm so accustomed to that. you know,
Right.
for as long as I've been writing, and it's just really been myself. But I'm finding that um, the other side of the coin, being able to sit with someone and bounce ideas off each other, and
Mm-hmm.
that's cool. And also like learning from what other people know, you know,
Right.
because I feel like I'm really talented. Like I feel like I have a lot of skill and I bring a lot to the table. But it's cool, like sitting with someone and being like, kind of like seeing, you know, like this is what makes him like the kind of artist that he is. You know, just like taking notes. You know, like
Yeah,
I
that's
like that. And
right, right.
if you let it, like it really sharpens your sword. You know what I mean? Because
Exactly.
you could take that, you know, you could take that and utilize the good of, you know, like what you like about this person's style or whatever,
Right,
what have you, and you know, kind of incorporate it into your own, sharpen your
right.
sword. You know? So yeah,
That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm not mad at that. But let's tap into your music, right? And your
yeah,
style because I didn't hear any of the music until you sent me the music. And then I was
right.
like, wait a minute, is
Oh,
this guy from is it is yeah, yeah. And I was like, is he from Topeka or is he from up here? You know what I'm saying? Like your whole style is kind of East Coast because it's definitely boom bap. And the song that stuck out to me the most was Closing Remarks. And I was like, oh nah, this is fire. I mean, it's a freestyle, but first of all, you went off for like 3-4 minutes, which is very impressive for any rapper. And then you sound like I said, like a New York guy. How was the process and what was the thoughts going into writing that freestyle?
um. Well, when I first started writing, I didn't have any structure. Obviously, you know, I didn't have structure. And I would just write these just super long songs. You know,
Right.
as my style developed, I started adding structure. You know,
Okay.
in the 16s, and then you know, eventually form. You know, like the verses, you know, your chords, and so on and so forth. However, I felt like I always kind of revert back every once in a while to hearing an instrumental and just like just going on it, you know,
Okay.
just
Okay.
going on. And
Right. Might as well.
that's the approach I had. And you know, that instrumental is a Drake instrumental. It's one that he used on,
Right.
I believe it was the playlist. I can't remember, but if I'm not mistaken, it's the one where his father is on the cover.
I think
It's
so.
either
I'm
that
not too sure. I don't follow Drake too much, but I think so.
Yeah, yeah. I believe that was the project. I can't remember for sure, but
Right.
uh he did exactly that on that instrumental too. You know, he just kind of just, you know, just coasted on the beat.
Okay.
And I don't know, like I'm using that as like an old school style, you know, with like the mixtapes. You know what I mean? Where you grab somebody else's beat and you go on it. And
Right.
I'm really using that as a teaser because there's a project that I with a couple other tracks that I sent you that are gonna be on my official project, you know, my first like real mixtape. But that thing's been so long in the making that I'm like, I need to do something to
Nah,
put
trust
out.
me. I'm
I
gonna
need
I'm
something
gonna
to
tell
put
you
out.
right
So,
now. Take your time with that joint, bro. Do not rush it. If it's your baby and you love it, take your time. It's only gonna be more special. But I know I get it though. I know you want to put something out and get it out there to the world, and there's nothing wrong with either scenario. But if I can encourage any rapper, take your time. Go back to like the '90s where dudes would take 2 years to come out with a record. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to putting out fast records
yeah,
because think about it, right? Songs are not long lasting anymore. I just did a video on this the other day where you want that Michael Jackson effect. I want to be talking about Lando the Second in 2055. You know what I'm saying? I want to be talking about We So
right.
Underrated then. I don't want to just be like, yo, you remember that? Now I'm like, nah, I really don't remember. So, take your time. That's my advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you my piece of advice. You know what I mean?
No, I mean I completely agree with you. I mean with this project in particular, not the one with that track on it, but the project that I've been putting together for like a while. I have some songs left to mix and then master, and then I'm ready to go.
Okay.
But I understand. I completely agree with you. I've looked at this thing like the Detox, like Dr. Dre.
Right.
Like,
right.
I mean, it ain't been released. I feel like maybe one day it will be. I always joke with my friends about it. But like, yeah, I get that though. Like, I want it to be perfect. I don't really believe in quality, or excuse me, in quantity over quality. I believe in quality music, putting that out, over just throwing shit out.
Yeah, it's definitely more helpful when you just take your time, you know what I'm saying? But if you got tracks recorded and they're ready to go, I say fuck it, go for it. You know what I'm saying? Like throw something out just to keep your fans, interested and hooked. Fuck it. But the real important stuff, hold on, trust me, I guarantee you it'll work out. Look at guys like J. Cole and Kendrick. You hear a record every 3 years, maybe longer.
Right.
While you got all of these other guys, they're dropping every month, every week, every whatever. And there's nothing wrong with either scenario. If you're hot, you're hot. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to lose fans, but
it's true.
You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying?
Those bigger names too, they're so established to the point that they could do something like that though.
That's
true. What I mean? They've gained enough respect in the game. Like people know, like, hey, all right, it's been a while, but I know this cat's about to drop something nice.
Right, right.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, I dig it. But going back into what you said just a moment ago, right, where you said you had no structure, what helped you with that to be able to make a song now where you got verse, hook, verse, or however you set it up? What helped you with that?
Just the continuation of writing. I'm 34 years old now. I started writing when I was around 20, 21 years old or so.
Okay.
And I feel like I've always had somewhat of a knack for it. Some of the stuff I wrote was, like pretty trash, but I feel like I've always had a knack for it. And just the continual process of just like hammering stuff out, hearing an instrumental and being inspired. I gotta write to this.
Right.
So I feel like that continuous grind is what helped me get better. Also, listening to several projects, listening to a lot of different projects and wanting to have something solid like that. Just the sheer grind and the sheer want to I want to be able to put out like a cohesive project, something whole, something that people can follow, start from track 1 to 18, all the way down.
Right.
Just my want, man. Just my love of the art form, man. My love of this culture.
I respect that, yo. I respect that. Because usually artists, they'll have an influence, maybe somebody that they like and they emulate, that person has helped them, structure. Because I made another video a while back where we don't have guidance. There's not a A&R that's there or a manager that used to do it that can help his artists and structure them. Usually they're just waiting for artists who have it already together, and then now they just throw them out there. But when you say, yeah, I've just been taking my time and blah, 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 that's impressive because a lot of guys, you're almost in my age range. I'm up there with Duso. I'm in the 40s. But, stick around guys like him. He's going to be definitely the guy that will guide you, tell you this, tell you that. Plus, he knows the business. So, you need guys like that could definitely help you out, to take you to the next level, man.
Right. Yeah, that's another aspect, too, that I'd like to learn more about the business. I've picked up on a lot of things. I've got my head cracked open a couple times, too, like learning
Absolutely.
curves.
It happens.
But I believe that's equally as important because I've learned from many artists that have been in the game, that are still in it or that have since been gone. They are, since gone. That this is music, but it is also a business. It's not just music. It's not just. There's a business aspect to this. If you want to, you could be purely music But if you want to like thrive in this game, you got to have some kind of business sense about you, and that's something that I'm trying to sharpen that sword too. You know,
that's major
I'm really trying to
important.
make an impact.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? It's impressive when you start to go to people who want to hand you a deal, or even when you want to do your own independent thing, and now you maybe want to get a sponsor or two. They already know that you know what you're talking about, that you know how contracts look. You know, when you're negotiating your numbers and your creative sense, where you say, all right, you're not going to take anything away from me. You're not going to tell me what to say. You're not going to tell me how to do it, but just, run me my bag, and then boom. So you need to have all of those things in your arsenal, you know what I'm saying, before you really jump out there, because they will take advantage of you. You said already you had your head cracked, so you already know you've been there. And I think every artist has to take that L, you know what I'm saying, before you can get to the next level. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? For sure. So what would you rather then, right? Would you rather a record deal or independent?
If somebody walked up to me right now and was like, "Hey, I got a record deal for you," I may have to consider it, because I'm in a position where a quicker come up may be more of a, I mean, it's obviously more appealing, but
right.
Who couldn't use the money, right?
Absolutely. It's like,
but at the same time, I have to think about people that I look up to that have done the independent route, and how keeping that head down and strictly grinding and just sticking to their guns and waiting on that big payout comes in a very big way,
Yes, very so. Very much so.
I guess I could say I'm like 50-50 on the fence, but like maybe like 60-40. I feel like I'd be like a little bit more towards like the independent side, because I've been writing for so long, and now that I'm putting these moves together, well, not only writing, but I've also been studying the game. I've been studying the game since I was a kid.
Right.
This is like, I mean, I listen to like all genres of music, but this genre is the one that it's in here, like really in here.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I've been studying the game since I was a kid, and now that I'm starting to make moves, I'm like understanding. I got to put this one here. I got to put this one here. I can't put this puzzle piece right here quite just yet. I got to wait a little longer before I make this move. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
I just have to keep grinding and see kind of what presents itself.
Right.
See what would be more beneficial for myself, not only myself, but for my family. I have two daughters,
Right. So
and I'm not eating off of it yet. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to, but the reality is I'm not making money off of this yet. So until I do, I gotta try to make moves that'll be beneficial for myself and for them.
Right. Absolutely.
So
I get it. And one thing I learned from like dudes like 50 Cent and others is when you get your flame going, utilize social media to your to like growth and strengthen your situation. When you use social media, it's so powerful that you're already going once you get the ball rolling, you know what I'm saying? So if you're on social media on a daily basis, even if you give them one video or a freestyle, keep doing that. That'll build your audience. So once you're ready to drop that mixtape, it's already ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So utilize the power of marketing.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You're not the first person that told me that. And that's something that I got to get my game tight on that. Aside from little things that I post here and there, I don't really do a lot of the social media. I'm trying to learn that aspect a little more. But like I went to a Cap G show, and I asked his opinion on like what he thought was like, as far as like trying to make an impact when you're coming into the game, or like to try to stay relevant. What did he think was just a word of advice,
Yeah.
And he said kind of like what you just said, like put something out every day. He said, I don't care if it's 1 minute long or like 5 minutes long. He said, just you have to stay consistent.
Right, that's a fact.
Just drop something every single day, a little something every single day for people to
Yep.
see, and that'll help you out. So
It would. It would. Any little thing, even if you dropping a snippet of you being in the studio or the finished product, you're listening to the music, any little thing can help your social media platform just grow and become even better than what it already is. You know what I'm saying? I promise you on that, because the way it works, I don't know what's been happening for me, but on my Facebook side, I got like 23,000 followers. Just a month
okay,
ago, I had like 3,000. But I post 3-4 times a day. Even if it's your music, I post it, I promote you. I've been getting a gang of followers, so things have been turning around, and I'm noticing how that power of marketing works. People who don't even know me, they're, oh, let me follow, and it's coming in, and it does work. It does work. So if you can get on it at least one post a day or every other day, I guarantee you'll start seeing tremendous numbers, and you can't lose that way. To be honest with you, you cannot lose.
I feel you.
That will
I
make
guess
you,
go ahead.
yeah, my fault. I said that, and that will help you remain more on the independent side because you have your own fan base. You know what I'm saying? It's not a record label getting the fan base for you. So it's a good
I
look
guess
too.
I get a little discouraged because like I don't necessarily have like I have a bunch of material. Well, I have I got a little chunk of material, but I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'm like for my project is rite of passage. Like I don't know. Like I don't know whether I guess I have it, but I'm holding it like to see maybe I just put it out in one thing. But you know, I get discouraged because I feel like sometimes I don't have enough to like really put out for people to listen to. Because kind of like what I have, I kind of want to hold on to. But I don't
Right,
know.
I get it.
What do you think? Should I just like put snippets out of some shit? You know, like I don't know.
All right. So here's the thing, right? Since you want to hold on to it, whatever you want to hold on to, you keep that. If you can consistently write on a daily basis, new stuff, then give the audience that. Things that you keep, you're cool, you can live with letting go. You know what I'm saying? But the things that you want to hold on to, like I said before, that's your baby. That's the things that you want to keep to yourself until you're ready to release it. So
Yeah.
I told this artist this a long time ago. I was like, yo, you're talented. You got bars. Write every day. Write every week. And then when you're ready, we'll film it. I got the camera. You can film it. Do reels. Reels, people have ADHD. They don't want to sit there 2 and 3 minutes unless you pop it. So give them 1 minute, minute and a half. They might scroll, but they know who you are. Trust me. And then they're going to see it consistently. And they're going to go, nah, who is this LANDOTHA2ND guy? I got to go follow him. And it's going to work out for you. So it all depends on your grind and your hustle. You know what I'm saying?
Keep that in mind. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. All right, so your style, like I said before, it's kind of East Coast-ish. What are some of the influence? Has living down there influenced you more, or has other artists influenced your style? Because your style is very unique and it's very your own kind of style. It's not like I'm listening to somebody else and I'm hearing somebody else. How did you develop that?
Okay, so I've only listened to like a few Midwest artists a little bit. I didn't really, and not till I was a little older. And the same thing with the West Coast. I didn't get so much into the West Coast until I was a little bit older. My style was really influenced by a lot of Northern and Southern rappers.
Okay.
Like I can't like rattle off like a top 5 or top 10, but the person that had the most influence on me personally is Big Pun. That's my number one on the list. That's my number one right there on any list. He's number one forever.
That's impressive.
But I was definitely influenced by artists like of course Jigga, Nas, 50, and the lot. Man, now that I'm put on the spot, I can't think, but
no, those are some big names already, though, right there.
A lot of the East Coast, man. A lot of East Coast rap. Biggie, of course. Big L was a very big,
Big L,
monster, bro. a monster.
Yes.
Like a lot of my early stuff was really dark. Like a lot of the shit that he wrote, like Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like that shit. Like a lot of my early writings, bro, it was a lot darker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
As far as like Southern rappers go, Jeezy will probably be like top. Like if I'm talking about a Southern rapper, he'd probably be the biggest one that influenced me.
Okay.
Especially out of Georgia too, you know, and I lived there. I don't know, it was like a thing. Jeezy, Ludacris, T.I., Ross.
Good.
I didn't get into Bootsy so much until I was a little older.
Okay. I can dig that. That's
UGK,
well rounded right there. Okay.
Yeah. I guess UGK really the only ones from Texas that I could really think of that I got into. But yeah, man, there's tons of them. I'm put on the spot, so it's a little harder for me to think right now. But yeah, like,
nah, it's all good.
North and the South are the ones that had the biggest impact on style, delivery, especially coming from like the East Coast. You know, you got to have a strong delivery. A lot of these rappers, they had a stronger delivery. You know what I mean? Like Pun had a very strong delivery.
That's a fact.
Biggie, he kind of coasted a little bit, but he had a strong delivery. Even Big L, like he had a strong delivery. You know what I mean? Like delivery is probably one of the biggest things that I you know that. How do I explain it? Delivery, style, everything.
Yeah,
you know?
it's important. All of that's important. If you don't come off strong, it's like people are gonna just dub your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like people are not gonna really respect it. So delivery is important. Yeah. Absolutely. That's
I've noticed that people that told me that my voice had something that makes people want to listen. Not everybody, but a lot of people I talk to, they say, well, your voice is like strong, so kind of like catch people here. Right. And I make it a point to be like strong and to like to be an MC, you know?
Yeah.
Come up there like half stepping and be all soft spoken and expect for people to, you know, gravitate.
Exactly.
In my
opinion. That's been the case since back in the day, bro. You get on stage, you command, you're an MC, you're the master of ceremony. You command the crowd.
Right.
If you cannot do that, then you might have to get out of there and work on that element. But that's what you need to have in your arsenal in order to become a good artist. You know, especially when it comes to stage presence and entertaining and, you know, going out there and doing big things. Because recording is one thing, having rhymes is one thing, business is another. But to be able to get out there and go on stage, you gotta have that in you. You know what I'm saying? That animal gotta be in you already. You know what I mean? So Agreed. Definitely. That was a good, when you said delivery, I didn't even think of that. That was a good one to bring up. I like that.
You know, there's a documentary that I don't know if you've ever seen it, but I encourage like MCs or anybody who's trying to make a stamp on the industry that takes this culture like really seriously. Like, I encourage everybody to watch it, but it's a documentary named Something from Nothing: The Art of Rap.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Ice-T was the one, you know, like the host of the documentary. It's his documentary, and he starts in the East Coast. Like, I think he starts in the East Coast and he ends up in the West. I think the only people from the Midwest was like he had on there was Common and Ye, and like from the South, I think the only person he had was Bun B.
Okay.
But anyway, my brother from another mother put me onto this thing like years ago. It's an older documentary, but that influenced me greatly. It influenced like how I approach my lyrics, and it approached and my approach to the mic. You know,
That's
it
dope.
definitely, that documentary influenced me a lot because they talk to a lot of
That's dope because we need that, man. We don't have that a lot in hip hop. Those stories like that where guys could say, yeah, that helped me really get my pen sharp and really get me focused. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. I like that. But I don't want to cut you off. Well, we got like 2 minutes left. They telling me I gotta either upgrade. But that's it. That's all my questions that I got today. I really freestyle a lot of these interviews off the top of the head because artists like you make it easy for me. You know what I'm saying? Like once I heard the music, I was like, oh, the questions just started going. So, but we could definitely do a part 2, or maybe we could do something with all of the We So Underrated. You know what I'm saying? Once I upgrade and we can get like 4 or 5 people in here. And I'm gonna continue to support, continue to be in the shadows, watching, making sure that you know you all right and you stay on your P's and Q's. And we're gonna continue to work, my brother. I got you.
That's what's up. I'm down for that. I hope I gave you what you needed. Good enough content. I've only done like one other like interview before, so this aspect is a little new to me. But
nah, you were great. You were great. You took your time. You made sure you answered all the questions thoroughly. You did your thing, man. You ready for this? That's what I'm saying. Like artists like you, y'all are ready for this. You know what I'm saying? And once you get to the next level stage in your career or wherever you want to go, you're gonna be even more ready. And then now I'm just gonna continue to grow and have it better. So now when we meet down the road, this is gonna be even more focused and more lit, and more crazy. So you're on the right path.
Right on. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Anytime, my brother. Yes, sir. But until next time, I will see you. You stay up. And yeah, just keep working, bro.
Yes, sir. Hey, the most important currency is time. Thank you for giving me yours. I appreciate it, dog.
Appreciate you, my brother. Anytime, man. You stay up. Shouts out to We So Underrated. Shouts out to Lando for giving me a dope interview. I have this up in maybe a couple of days, maybe if not next weekend. But I'll keep you informed, and I have some snippets as well going out there too.
Okay. Bet.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Anytime, my brother. Yes, sir. You too, man. Have a good one. You heard? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.